Hello. Merry Christmas. Let me throw this out of the way because I accidentally pressed the record button before I was actually ready. But have no fear. Today is Tuesday, December 24th. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Amy, and this is Mimi Stitchery. And if you joined me last time, you know that this is going to be a whip parade. Now, remember, it's going to be a crafting whip parade, not just cross stitch. So I will try to consolidate things together. So if you're here for one thing or the other, you'll be able to fast forward through and see everything. I have a couple of goals with this video, one of which is not to get it all recorded today because I think I might not be able to do that. So if it doesn't go up today, if I cannot get it all recorded today, it will go up after Christmas. So I hope when it goes up after Christmas, I hope you had a great Christmas. And if you're watching this before Christmas, out of some stroke of luck that I'm able to get this up, I hope you have a very Merry Christmas. Spend time with your family and loved ones. Yeah. If you're new here and you just clicked because this is a whip parade, so I'm a different sort of person. So if you don't like scattered thought, my channel may not be for you. But if you're following back with me, you know exactly how I roll. So here you go. My plan today is to go through what happened in 2024. I do not have stats. I don't keep track of stats, like how many finishes, how many starts, any of that. I don't remember starting anything this year except a Christmas ornament, but I could be lying. So as we go through these whips, I'm sure it'll point itself out if I've lied on that regard. I don't know how many whips I have anymore. I am trying to whip down. That was part of the goal. And whip down for everything. Whipping down for quilts, whipping down for knitting whips, whipping down for cross-stitch whips. That's my goal. Oh, and I had a huge finish to show, so hold on, let me grab that. Thankfully, it's right here next to me. I may have to film this in several different parts depending on how far I have to go get things. Matter of fact, I know I'm going to have to film these in separate parts. So maybe I should just separate it by craft and put some timestamps in. That would help all of you, wouldn't it? We'll try to do that, okay? We'll start with stitching. So this year in 2024 for stitching, I kept 24 projects out for 2024 with my focus meant to primarily be on those 24 projects. I believe that I have more than 24 sitting in front of me that I worked on this year. Now, you guys will have to count. Sorry, let me silence my phone. It's my anniversary today. Matt and I have been together for 29 years today. We are getting lots of phone messages from the people that love us, so let me silence that. Anyway, I think I have more than 24 projects here. I'm not going to count them because here's the deal. I learn something new about myself and my crafting every year, and I always look at it as an evolving kind of thing that grows in the way it needs to grow to help support my mental health and my happiness. So I am no longer tracking stats. I'm no longer looking at when I started something, except to know my oldest whip, which I'm not even sure what that is right now, but I have to look it up because I'm playing a Monopoly game with my Sunday stitching friends, and I need to know my oldest whip. So I will look on a spreadsheet that I have to figure that out. I don't think that I worked on all 24 of these projects this year, so I'm going to show them to show them. I honestly can't tell you because I did not do a good thing tracking what I worked on this year, which is something different going into 25. So we will talk about that in the end. 2025 plans. I say plans. It's really not plans. It's more like organization. So just so we put that out there. But yeah, if you're ready, get something to work on, get a cup of coffee, tea, water. I have water this morning because I've been up This was a gift from a friend of mine. I've been up since early this morning and then went back to an hour-long nap. And then I've been up knitting, watching a movie, cleaning the kitchen, and getting ready because, sorry, I had to pick this up. We have, because it's our anniversary today, 3 of our kids live local with their significant others, families, and our son is with us right now because he's getting ready to move to Hawaii on the 11th of January. And everybody's coming over and we're going to church for Christmas Eve. And we are having dinner together tonight. So that's why I think I may not be able to do this all in one shot. But we're going to try. We're going to see how this goes. See how much time, how fast I can get through it. And we'll talk about 2025. Okay? The first thing I'm going to show you is my finish. I finished this day before, 2 days ago. This is a piece that I've been working on with Gail from Gail's Golden Needle. We split this piece up into 12 parts and did it over the year. I finished it up, I want to say 2 or 3 days ago. I was working on the lettering in the center tree and I kind of just gutted it out the other night and got it done. I'm very happy to have it finished. It is stitched on. It is And a Forest Grew by Rosewood Manor. It is stitched on 36 count mushroom by XJU Designs. I stitched it with the called for DMC 1/2, which if you've been around here for a while, you know that's not my normal. My normal is 2/2. I chose to do this one 1/2, and here she is. So the quote in the center tree is what Lindy Stitches put in the middle of hers. Is this perfect? Absolutely not. Maybe that can be my screenshot. I wonder if you can still hear me through the fabric. But it's a finish for 2024. It's a big one. I've got a frame in my Amazon cart to hopefully pull the trigger on in the next few days. Yeah. I don't know if I said this. The plan is to go through the 24 whips that I worked on, or these 2 piles, because you can't even see the piles. These 2 piles that I think I worked on this year, the 24 that I had out, plus any extras that straggled in. And then I had a bunch of projects that went into the garage. Oh, strings flying. And I'm going to remind you of what those projects are, as well as reminding myself. So if you don't want to see projects that weren't worked on, skip through that part. But right now we're gonna kind of go for it. I don't know if I have the pictures to all of these. I'm going to try. This is the Mushroom and Fern Mandala by Chatelaine. I do not have the picture in here. This is stitched on 28 count mushroom Lugana with all the called for floss. I think I worked on this a little bit this year, but really not as much as I was planning on doing. But I did get more done. And this is why I'm doing this video standing up at my cutting table, because a lot of my pieces are so big that I think you guys can't see them all. But this is that one. I must have worked on a little bit because it was literally just shoved back into the project bag, as you can tell by the wrinkles. Would like to get more done, but again, I'm going to talk about that a little bit when I talk about 2025 plans. I'm just going to kind of toss things around. And these are in no particular order either. I'm recording. That was my husband wondering what I'm doing. The next one I'm going to show you is Teresa Koga, Is Land That I Love. Originally, I think when I talked about this at my last whip parade, I was going to cut it off here in the strawberries. I've changed my mind. I want to do the whole thing. I don't know why I do that to myself. I like the whole thing as a whole. And I worked on this a little bit. This is stitched on 40 count Beach Brew by R&R with the called for floss. This one is Autumn Town by Autumn and Stitchery. This was one that I had split up into 12 parts and was stitching with my stitchy crew. I did not comply. I guess I'll talk about this now. I'm not splitting up another project into 12 parts because when I did that with Anna Forrest Grew, it left really no or little to no fun stitching time. So there's that, and I'm just not going to do it this year. I'm not going to put that pressure on myself. I am stitching this on 36 count baler, 1/2, and I think it's sitting somewhere around 50%, maybe close to 60% done. But there's that. Okay, this is Kringle's Little House Needleworks. This is being stitched on 30 count Parisian gray. I think it's this Zweigart fabric. With all the called for, back in the day, I got the kitted up version from Fat Quarter Shop. And I have worked on this year, recently. Actually showed it in a YouTube. I'm not calling them floss tubes anymore because honestly it's about all my crafts and not just the stitching. So there we go. My Christmas stuff is right here basically on top because that's what I've been working on the most. I tend to stitch in season. Next thing is Enchanted Ornaments. This is a Dimensions Gold stocking. And I have this on scroll rods. Let's see if I can loosen these up so you can see everything. There's a top portion. If you were here for my last update, you will know that there's a portion I have to kind of rip out. And there's no choice. I've got to frog it, and there's really no getting around it. And all the strings, so I'm a Parker if necessary, so just so you know. And I'm stitching this on the kit fabric with the kit floss. And you can barely see it on camera, but this is the section that needs to be ripped out. I already ripped out down here. I need to rip out this, but this is where I'm at. And my most recent that I've worked on, part of the reason why I wanted to film this today was because I wanted to get this stuff cleaned up and organized to go into the new year. And in order to do that, I needed to film an update. I do want to take this out of the hoop. It has been worked on very recently. And this is one of my Miras, one of my fancy ladies I have going. This is Royal Holiday. This is being stitched on 28 count Abyss by Fabrics by Stephanie. It's a even weave, I believe. Dropping things all over the place. And here she is. Sorry about the hoop mark, but it is what it is. I'm working in this center section on her dress because this section right here. Because there's an error there, and I'm working around it and working back into it just to make sure it looks good. But she looks great. I love her. Let me see if I can get her to the point where I can drop her and not worry about it. Good. This is going along quite nicely. We're only 15 minutes in. This is my Christmas list. This is by Carriage House Samplings. I am using the Stitching with the Housewives conversion for floss. I'm stitching this on, let's see, Neptune by Bee Stitch Me. And I'm not sure if I've worked on this at all this year. I think I did a little bit. I have threads everywhere. But there you go. I was going to half that and just be done with it, but I do think I want the whole thing. So, I'm just going to leave it. Last year, if you were around last year was the time that I went through all of my whips and I basically UFO'd everything that I wasn't feeling. But I have to tell you, oh, I do have a new start here. This is, I have to tell you, I like all my projects, and I'm going to stop beating myself up about that. I just like it. This is Live on Little by Plum Street. This was gifted to me by Gail at Gail's Golden Needle. It is being stitched on 36 count Attic Lace by Lakeside Linen. It's being stitched, I think it's 1/2. It is. Yep, 1/2. This is where I am. I did work on that this year. This is, I wish I could remember the pattern, and I do not have my tablet down here. Oh, hold please. One moment. So you can see all my craft room mess behind me. Okay, let's see if I can pull this up. I did start this. I started this at the Grace Notes retreat that I went to. It is called Majestic Lace. It is by Works by ABC. That's what it will look like. I am stitching this on a piece of fabric I bought while I was there. This is called Michelle by Grace Notes. It's a 36 count linen. And that's where I've gotten. I'm working around the perimeter at the moment. And I'm stitching it with the called for floche. This is Christmas Quaker by Bygone Stitches. Let me see if I can find the cover page for you. Here we go. This is being stitched on 40 count Tycho by Picture This Plus. I am stitching this with DMC 935, Gentle Arts Gold Leaf in Classic Colorworks Cherry Cobbler. I worked on this a little bit, but not a ton. And I don't know why. Hence why I'm going to start talking about 2025 plans. What I found in 2024 was that I am spending more time on one project before I move on. And I was talking to my stitchy friends about it, and it's because every time I pull out a new project, I have to reorient myself to that project. And if I'm going to reorient myself to a project, I need to spend more days with it. So that kind of leads you into what I'm going to do for 2025. This is Dasher and Dancer by Hobby House Press. Those of you that know Hobby House is my local needlework shop. I know you're all jealous. I get it. I am stitching this on a piece of 36 count Cardinal by Bee Stitch Me, and I'm using multiple colors. This is meant to be a monochromatic, and I decided it would be fun to try multiple colors. So I'm using DMC 935, Classic Colorworks Bamboo, and a Sulky Blendable, along with Classic Colorworks Steamed Broccoli. And I did work on this a little bit this year, not a whole ton. But I do like how the colors are playing together, and I should work on this more. If somebody's counting these whips, you can by sure, let me know how many you find at the end. I'd be curious, although I'm good. This next one is the last one in the series that Gail from Gail's Gold Needle and I have been trying to finish off for 2 years. Will it get done in 2025? I don't know. We'll see. It's the beaver. It is the last one. I am stitching this on a piece of 40 count vintage country mocha with the called for floss. It looks like I'm stitching it 1/2. Sorry, it's all wrinkly, but there he be. The next one is the pub. Peacock, Unicorn, and a Badger. I am stitching this on 40 count Attic Lace by Lakeside Linen. The pattern is by the Scarlet Letter. It is one of my faves. Yeah. I have worked on this year. I really like this stitch because it's kind of like coloring. You outline and then you color in. And that's where I am. You have to let me know. Do you guys like whip parades? Sometimes I watch them, sometimes I don't. Depends on my mood, I think. I'm not into floss tube as much as I used to be, or any tubes for that matter, except for camping, because I find it enables me and it distracts my mind. It makes me a little ADD. So if you're watching and you like whip parades and you can't get enough of them, let me know. The next one I'm going to show you is from Owl Forest Embroidery. It's called Southern Land. This is being stitched on a piece of 36 count white Edinburgh linen with the called for floss. And this was one of the ones that I had tagged as trying to get done this year. And I did get down to the bottom corner of the design. But yeah. I am very much, if you're new here, I am very much a process stitcher. I enjoy the process. I'm not stitching to finish. I'm not stitching for anybody else's enjoyment except for my own. And my heart leans to certain projects sometimes and other projects other times, and it's okay. It's all okay. Sorry, I should have warned you. If you are sensitive to zipper sounds, you will hear them in this video, so this might not be the perfect one for you to watch. My goal is I'm trying to get this filmed, and I don't have the luxury of taking so much time. This is Pandemic by Long Dog. This was free during the pandemic. That's when I got the pattern. I am stitching it on 40 count Heritage by Picture This Plus. I'm using a black silk from Silks For You. Thoroughly enjoy this when I stitch on it. Why it doesn't come out more, I suspect I know why. Sorry, my phone is blowing up right now. But again, oh, this was another new start this year. This I started at StitchCon this year. So I had 2 new starts this year that I can tell right now. 3, because I did an ornament exchange with my Stitchy group. Yeah. This is called Wisdom. This is by Teresa Kogut. I'm stitching this on an 18 count Ada called Macchiato by Bee Stitch Me with all the called for floss. Let's get this folded up. This is where I am. And I do really enjoy this stitch, and I'm enjoying the Ada, and I enjoy the muted color palette. And if you've been here a while, you know that that's not like me. I kind of like the bright colors. But I really enjoy that stitch. The next one is my conversion of Cooper by Kathy Barrick. I love birds, but I love parrots the best. And I saw Lindy Stitches do a conversion on hers to make it more parrot-like. And I'm doing the same on mine. What am I stitching this on? Does it say? It looks like oaken. It is 36 count Wren by Picture This Plus. I'm stitching it 2/2 so I can get the coverage for the bird. Yeah. Oh no, this may have been a start this year too. This may have been a start this year too, and I wonder what I'm stitching on. This is Strawberry Fields Forever by Blackbird Designs. I'm stitching this on an Aida. It is by Be Stitch Me with Stash Dive threads. Didn't get very far. And I don't remember the fabric name off the top of my head. And I do not have the tag in here. Okay, that's full coverage. We're going to wait on that. All right, next one. We are really close to being through the 24 main ones that were next to my chair. This is Queen of Freedom. This is being stitched on 30 count Constitution linen by Primitive Hair with all the called for. And here she is. I didn't get very far on her. I think my focus when I work on my Fancy Ladies has been Royal Holiday, not gonna lie. But I would like to get back to this one. I do enjoy stitching them. Is this the last one in the pile? This is. Well, I got 2 full coverage, never mind. This was a stitch along with Olena, I think it's Olena, by Over the Rainbow. She did the Fungi book Sal. And I've gotten the cover done. And 1.5, let's say, pages. And I just have not felt like working on this. My friends and I were talking about this recently. Okay. Oh, wait, full coverage. So, here we go. Again, my full coverage. I concentrated on 2 this year. I pulled out Bonded by the Rain. Artworks by Leonid Afromov. It is charted by Chapman and Earth Designs. I am doing it 2/110 on 25 count. It did come out, just not as much as I would have liked. I did make quite a bit of progress right here, pulling all this down. And I'm basically taking all these groups of threads and working them in. And the second one is the Stitching Shelf. The artwork is by Amy Stewart and charted by Heaven Earth Designs. If you want to see pictures of what these are going to look like, I'm sure you can find them on Heaven and Earth Designs. I'm going to open this one up a bit so you can see. I've worked down through the shelves, and the object here is to work on the shelf in the season that we're in. So this is where I am. Gonna leave these here so I can put them back together. That's part of that thing, orienting to a project, you know. That's not bad. 29 minutes to go through my whips. Shall I remind you of what was in the garage? That is now out of the garage. The first one I'm going to show you is one I think I'm going to UFO. I'm not... Oh, and the pattern's not even in here. This is called Cinnamon Stars. And the reason I think I'm going to... Which way? That's this way. I put it in the garage because I wasn't sure I was liking my conversion of it, and I still don't think I like my conversion. So I'm UFOing it for now. If I restart it, I'll restart. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe if I get some other stuff done. This next one was the Pandemic Sampler. This was in the garage, and just a reminder, this is kind of where I'm at. trying to organize these for how I want to roll as I do this. What is this one? Oh, this is the Halloween Carolyn Manning. I forgot I even have this. I'm doing this on 28 count. I think it's gray even weave, and I'm doing it 1/1. Let me see if I can find this one for you, because you're not going to know what I'm talking about if I just say the Halloween Carolyn Manning one. It is called Halloween Hijinks. Trying to keep this pile from going off. Let's see. And I barely started it. It's 1/1, 28 count. I think it's Dove Gray Lugana. It's Halloween. This is... Hold, please. Okay, sorry, got interrupted. This is the one I started for my daughter and her son-in-law for their wedding. It became clear to me that I was not going to be able to get it done. So I still have it here. And I don't know whether I'm going to finish it or not. So that's like in a maybe UFO pile as well. The reason that I'm thinking about not doing it, just so they're going full-time in an RV, and they're not going to have space in an RV to hang that stuff up. What is this one? Oh, this is Floss Tube Friends that I started as a stitch along with a bunch of Floss Tube Friends. They were done with it a long time ago. This is where I am. This is 40 Count Beach Brew by R&R. That's in a maybe pile as well. I do not do well with stitch alongs, just putting that out there. This is Electra. She's being stitched on 28 count Murky by Picture This Plus. And here she is. This is Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. This pattern's on loan to me from a friend. And I restarted this. This is a piece of, I think it's 40 count Grace Notes in Mojito. This was also gifted to me by a friend, Lady of the Flag. I'm stitching this on all the called for fabric with the called for floss. This is my start. I am doing the Statue of Liberty conversion. You know, for somebody who said they would never stitch a mirror back in the day, I certainly have a lot of them going. This is Tree of Hope. And here's my start. This is Evening in the Park. Do I have a printout? Hold on. This is my other chatelaine that I have going. This is Evening in the Park. I am stitching it on fabric that I dyed. I started this last Christmas, I believe. And there's my start. I don't know if you can see that. I think the light's too bright. But there you go. That's my other chatelaine. This is my Bothy Threads kit. I am keeping this because I just love the duck and her 4 babies. I have 4 kiddos, so... And at one point I was being called Mama Duck. Pathetic start on the kit fabric with the kit thread. However, I would like to stitch on that more. Oh, this one is one I started with Tiffany from Black Cat X Stitchery. See if I can find it here. It is called Haunted Chateau by the Twin Peaks Primitive. I am stitching it on a piece of Sonatina from Grace Notes Fabrics. It is on 36 count. Stitching it 2/2, and you can see I parked my threads because I'm a notoriously bad counter. This is another Carolyn Manning. Oh, here it is. It's called Northern Lights. Stitching this on just plain old 18 count white Aida. This is where I am. This is Liberty's Welcome. This is being, let me see if I have it's being stitched up. Oh, it's Forbidden Fiber Co. It is, hold on, 36 count Edinburgh linen in the colorway Granite. And here's where we are. And that is a reminder of everything that was in the garage. So, since it's obvious I'm going to have several interruptions today, I am going to stop for now. And we will talk, there's things flying around in the air down here. We will talk more about 25 plans when I come back. Okay, it's only probably an hour later. I'm back. So let's talk about cross stitch in 2025. I did, let me grab it. Get a little bit of a planner for 2025, only so that this is called the Cross Stitchers Planner. I've shown this on my channel before. It's by My Crazy Life on Etsy. Only so that I can track what I'm doing in a day. So it could be cross stitch, could be quilting, could be any of that stuff. To see what I'm levitating to. And because I'm bad at remembering what I've worked on between YouTube updates, so I'm just bad at it. That will help me with that. I'm also playing a Monopoly game, which is not our invention. It was the idea of Caffeinated Stitcher. But we're doing it in my Sunday morning stitch group. And it applies to one project a week and a goal. So there's that. I'll explain more about that when we start doing it because it'll make more sense. But for 2025, I am going to narrow my weekly focus, maybe monthly focused, to several projects to get more done on them and in the effort to whip down. I am enjoying the whipping down both stitching, knitting, quilting, the whole kit and caboodle. I'm going to have to break again before I show you the quilting. However, I can show you my knitting. And you'll get that kitting, whipping down part when I go through my knitting too, because if you watched my last video, you're going to notice I have less whips because I've decided to consolidate some stuff. So the first thing I want to show you is I finished my husband's socks. So these are done. They are still wet and drying. So they've been washed. He's just waiting for them to dry and he can wear them. But yeah, those are done. I also have gotten one of my Grinch socks done. This is the mean and green colorway that I've been waiting so long for. And I've gotten almost through the heel flap on the second one. The hope was to get them done so I could wear them tomorrow. I don't know that that's going to happen. We're busy today with the kiddos, as I talked about, so we'll see. The Cozy Knitter Advent socks, I am 24 stripes in, but still have a little bit to go for the foot, the length that I like it. I think I have on this one probably 12 or 13 more rounds. And on this one, probably another 10, 11, 12 rounds. And then I will put the toes into these, and they will be done. That reminds you of things that I put on the back burner while I worked on some other things for Christmas. I had started 2 pairs of Halloween socks. These will go into my docket as soon as those are done. But this was the Grim Grinning Ghost colorway from 3 by the Sea. And this was the Hocus Pocus mystery sock set from 3 by the Sea. So this is Rhinebeck Roomies patterned by Kay Litton from Crazy Sock Lady. See threads flying all over the place. This is just vanilla socks on 9-inch circular. I knit all my socks on a size 1 9-inch circular, and then I either use DPNs or a long cable needle magic loop for the heels toes. So these will come back out after Christmas so I can finish them. I'm going to pull my bin over. This one I showed you a while ago. I'm just going to remind you I have an anthology throw on the go, and I opened this up last time I showed it to you and showed all of it. But there is that. This was with an advent that I did with some friends of mine, Christmas in July. And this is the all cotton blanket that I'm making for my son. This is Knit Picks All Cotton. I forget the colorway name, but here you go. You can tell this has been in there for a while because I haven't worked on it in a while. So the fact that I have a wrap and a blanket going, the green sweater that I started a ranunculus sweater. I made an error on that and could not come back from it. I'm not good enough at knitting garments to be able to be firm on where I rip back to and how much to rip back, and to rip back well enough. So I just basically frogged the whole sweater. I will start it over, but it will not be right now. I also had started a Cozy Comfort throw by one of my advents. In the Polka Dot Creek advent, I had started the Cozy Comfort throw, and then I had started this corner to corner crochet blanket from my Leap of Faith advent, and I decided to rip both of those back, put the yarn back in the advent, and then I decided to bring back out my Coziest Memories. This is the Coziest Memories blanket by Kemper Ray, and I started this last year with my scraps, and I've decided that I need to catch this up. I have a bin of sock scraps over there. This needs to get caught up with those scraps. Go in it's about 8 to 9 grams per square. So I need to get those scraps in, And then I'm going to do the advents into this blanket and then decide when I have something left from the advent, whether that goes into my magic knot ball that I've started or whatever. I'll decide then. But this is 2 blankets and a wrap. Well, 2 blankets and an anthology throw going, plus socks. That's plenty. Plenty. Knitting became a lot like cross stitch, where I have things kitted up and ready to go. I really need less projects so I can get more done. And that's really my feeling right now. So right now these socks become priority to get these done. And then I can take a day and work on catching up the coziest memories. With all the scraps and the advents, I can work on the blanket, or I can work on the anthology throw. That's plenty of knitting projects going at one time. I will always have a pair of socks going because that's easy purse knitting, but I'm basically taking into all my crafting the whip down thing this year. And I'm not going to track it. I'm just going to do I'm going to track what I get done to look at the end of the year, but I'm not going to track it as far as having strict weekly goals. That's not going to be a thing. Okay, I have to go get more ready for Christmas Eve. I may have to change my clothes, put some makeup on, actually do my hair. But I will be back to film the rest of this, and we will talk about the quilting. Good morning. As you can see, I did not finish filming this yesterday. Yeah, it's Christmas Eve. Today is Christmas Day. Good morning. I doubt you'll be watching this on Christmas Day because I'm not sure that I will get this video up. However, it's Wednesday, December 25th now, and Merry Christmas if you celebrate. I think Kwanzaa starts, if it hasn't already started, starts soon. Hanukkah, all of that jazz. We went last night to Christmas Eve services. It is now Christmas morning. It's not super early. It's about 9 o'clock, but I am dressed and ready to go and have several things going on to get ready for today. Yeah, so you can see I'm dressed. This is probably the fanciest you guys ever see me with some makeup on. And I have approximately 30 people coming for Christmas dinner at 1. But it's no stress here because the way we've always done it is that we do the meats and maybe some cookies or pies. I did cookies this year, and everybody else brings a dish to pass. So we already have our meat cooking. We're doing hams this year. We've done prime rib in the past. We've done lots of cool things, but yeah. So that's cooking. The house is clean. We have a little bit of pickup to do from our Christmas Eve last night with the kids. Because as I said earlier in this video, I believe yesterday was mine and Matt's 29th anniversary. So the 3 local kids came. We have one that lives out of state and is not here for Christmas. But the 3 locals that are here came. We went to Christmas Eve service and then came home and had a vegetable lasagna for dinner. And the grandkids opened their gifts last night because with so many people here on Christmas Day, we never get to see them open their gifts and them enjoy their gifts. So it was kind of nice last night to sit down and see them open and be able to enjoy their gifts. Other than that, let's get going. I have basically 2 quilting whips that I want to show you today. Both are Christmas related. I have lots and lots of quilts kitted up ready to go and not really many of them in progress yet. I have lots of quilt tops also done, which I've decided not to show you today. They just need to be quilt and bound and get somewhere in my house or with one of the kids. I will work on that too. So I want to show you the 2 Christmas quilt tops that I have going. And then I'm going to talk about my 2025 plans. I did touch on them a little bit yesterday while I was filming, so earlier in this video, but I really want to kind of nail them down today. And like I said, they are loose plans, and I want to get this filmed, and then later if I get time to put them all together and up, I will. And if probably most likely early tomorrow morning. I'm drinking my coffee. I have been struggling over this holiday to feel well, and I can't quite pinpoint it. It's just an overall not feeling well, and so I don't know if I'm fighting something off or getting something, but it's holding off for now. Yeah, so that being said, let's have at it. So the first quilt whip I'm going to show you is my pattern. It's not anybody else's pattern. It's based on a Bargello quilt, and it is made out of, I believe it's Moda. I forget. Hold on. I have a somewhere here. Hold on. Oh, Little Tree by Lella. It's a Moda fabric. It's called Little Tree by Lella Boutique. This is the fabric line. And I've got 2 panels made, and I have all the other strips lined up ready to go. If you could see my room right now, you would see exactly what I have going. But like, here's the panels. I'm making this for mine and Matt's master bed for Christmas time. Once I get it made, it could stay on there all year long, because honestly, we got married on Christmas Eve. So that's panel number 1. This is panel number 2. And I think I have another panel that the strips all sewn together, haven't been cut apart and repieced like this. And then I have, I believe, 3 more panels to sew. So that's quilting whip number 1. Quilting whip number 2 is also Christmas related. This is called Sweet Christmas. It was a kit put out quite a while ago by Urban Chic. I'm not even sure if this kit is still available, but it comes with the panel. So I have the panel to go on it, and then the background's made with all of these, I forget what they're called. I started putting this all together. I have more strips in here ready, all ready to sew on. So yeah, I would love to get these 2 quilts done this year, and my promise to myself is that I will get these done before I start another one, because I have several in here all ready to go, all kitted with the fabric. Some of them are cut out even. But yeah, so those are my 2 main quilting whips. Like I said, I have quilting tops here that need to be quilted and bound, and I'll show you them when they're done. This floss tube, if you watched my last video, is not going to be floss tube anymore. It's going to be like a craft tube, because I'd like to include everything I'm doing. I do so many things. You see all the fuzzies flying around down here? This is because we have forced air heat. So it's kind of funny that you can see them all, because to the naked eye, I don't see all of that. But there you go. Kind of looks like snow. I guess it goes with the season. So let's talk about plans for 2025. I did say yesterday that I'm whipping down this year, and I meant it. I have not picked. My thought on the stitching is to pick 4 or 5 projects to kind of concentrate on every month. And that's how I may do that. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I definitely think there's going to be a focus basket next to my stitching chair upstairs, and a knitting basket upstairs. The knitting is going to stay whipped down. I was working on my Advent socks this morning. I got my other Grinch sock well underway. So upstairs right now, I have my son's cotton knitted blanket. I have the Coziest Memories to put scraps in. And I have the Anthology throw and 2 pairs of socks. I believe once I finish those 2 pairs of socks, which are close to being finished, they should be finished in the next few days, I will re-needle my Halloween socks that I started and finish them to get them done. And then I will kind of just go from there. Like I said, I will always have socks on the go. So I feel like I've already whipped down for knitting, and I have like a good concentration focus. For stitching, I mentioned yesterday I'm doing a Monopoly board with a couple of friends of mine. I've put categories on the colors of the Monopoly spaces. So the categories I have are full coverage, fancy ladies, sales, Halloween, patriotic, sampler, waterworks. If I land there, I'm going to do something with bling, so something with beads. I have Christmas, chatelaine, and what do I hear? Oh, smallest whip and oldest whip. If we get sent to jail, we have to do 200 stitches. If we land on jail, we have to do 100 stitches. If two of us lands on the same spot, it's a race to win the spot. And then you can do penalty stitch. You can do further stitching if you land on it again to earn a house and then a hotel. And then if you land on somebody else's property, you're doing penalty stitches. So that's going to be a weekly thing. And then if we land on community chest or chance, Tina from Tina Stitches has a card deck. I believe she said it was from Black Needle Society, that she's going to draw cards, and that will be what we focus on. So today, you see I have whips stacked all over the place from filming yesterday. I'm categorizing my whips into those categories. I'm labeling them today so they're all ready to go. And that will play into what my focuses are on the month as well. So, that all being said, I have an overarching theme of whipping down. All of my whips, with the exception of the couple that I named when I was filming earlier in this video, will go forward with me into 25. I have no planned new starts. Now I say planned. I have tons of things here already kitted, ready to go. I think starting socks is Phil's my starting thing at the moment, and doing the Scrappy Coziest Memories blanket. I think that fulfills the starting mentality for me right now. So the stitching, I'm not likely to start anything new. That being said, I said that last year, and I think we counted 2 or 3 things yesterday. But 2 or 3 things in a year, comparatively speaking, that's not a lot. So I'm going to tag up and categorize my whips today so that the tags match the colors on this board, and get ready to do that. And I showed you this yesterday, this cross-stitch planner that I bought. This is My Crazy Life on Etsy, just to track what I'm working on each given day. She's even got pages in here for, like there's a page in here that looks like a whip go board. Hold on. There's notebook pages in here. There's a whip list. This kind of looks like it could be used for a whip go board, which I'm not doing. But I think I could also track the Monopoly in here and how that's going. There's plenty of places to take notes. There's notes pages. There's full calendar pages, which I really like this versus the week by week. And I'd like to track more about like what I'm doing in 2025. I do have to get on my spreadsheet and determine what my oldest whip is, because I've lost track of that. And I haven't been keeping track of any other stats for my whips. I find that keeping track of those things it makes my crafting frustrating to me, that I have to keep track of so many things. So basically what I'm trying to track is what I've worked on that day. If I maybe own a property, I will track that either in that book or on the Monopoly board itself that I have set up over here. Let me see. Can you see this? No, all you can see is my whip mess. Oh, right there. There's my Monopoly all set up. See, you get a little tour of my crafting today, and my whip mess right there, which hopefully will be cleaned up later. But yeah, I think that's it. If I don't see you before the new year, which I don't think I will, have a happy new year. Enjoy your day today with your families and your loved ones. Have fun. Keep it low stress, low key. And I hope you enjoyed the whip video. If I forgot to mention anything, just ask me in the comments. I will try to reply. And until then, I will see you in 2025.